Yo, what's up, good people? So I just did a thing and really excited that I got to do it. So I got to shoot a course that was set up more like an IBO style, a lot longer ranges than, I say a lot longer, they were longer ranges than what you would see at an ASA. I think our max target in range was about 62. Then in the shoot off, I think it got up to about 72 according to like what my rangefinder got. So if that sounds interesting to you, if you're curious on what that looks like and where I personally placed, then stick around if you want to hear the breakdown. And if not, obviously no harm, no foul. But roll it. So thanks for sticking around. For those that did and watched the little montage, hopefully that was okay. But with that, all that being said, I got second place. I feel like I'm good enough to get first, especially with the way that I was shooting on the range, but the range did not go into the final shooting. So overall with 19 shooters, I placed third in regards to the field score, and I'll have the card pop up now. And that was my score. Was not anything that I was super proud about, especially the drop fives. And that actually leads me to the main thing that I'm really happy about and actually the most frustrated about, same boat. But basically I was shooting pretty solid up to that point, felt really, really good. But then the next thing I know, I drop an 8 on a very easy target. Something that I felt like I should have like 11 punched like 1,000 times. But for some reason with me, because they're like, the guy that set it up over at Quarry Rock, he would go in little challenges. So some shots you would have to take from your knee. Some shots you would have to put your left foot up and your right foot in the hole. So it was a really like interesting IBO style shoot. Really took a lot of pride in saying, hey, we want to make this the closest to setting yourself up for like real deal hunting. So we had like 50-yard shots uphill at a steep angle with a big old mountain rock side behind it. I don't know a lot of people that are doing that, but at the end of the day, it was a lot of those like throw you off kilter shots, which were really, really fun to actually do. Made archery kind of adventurous as well as challenging, but still very straightforward. It wasn't like there was anything that felt like totally impossible. Like, loved what Jody did. Jody is actually the owner. Figured that out today. Pretty cool. But at the end of the day, it was really, really cool to be able to take that style of shooting and apply that to an actual scored environment with some other guys that could really, really shoot, at least the guys that were in my group. Now, with that being said, the next thing that stood out to me on the day was actually the flow. So, but the way that it worked out for me, I showed up around 6:45. I actually asked not to be sighted in just yet because I was having some sight tape situations, and I'll actually take a quick pause. So obviously I got my title about a week or two ago, and I knew that I was going to be shooting this last Sunday, but my dumb self was like, it'd be okay. I shot it last week at the ASA style shoot with a friend at the ASA, and I was like, dude, it'd be totally fine. But then I started reading a little bit more into how this shoot was gonna be set up, and it was gonna be more hunting style, which to me, I immediately think tack, really steep angles, really awkward shots. So that means I need to double check my third axis. With where I was shooting with the ASA, those things are really flat, just with different ranges and sometimes things being in the way. So I wasn't really worried about it. But with this one, I did get a little concerned, so I really needed to hit the ground running last night. And I say last night, it was yesterday evening when I realized I needed to sight it in. I should have been way more proactive. That's not an excuse for any of my scores. I just didn't shoot well enough to do what I needed to do. But I did get my third axis set up yesterday, as well as getting some sight marks. Now that's what leads me to the morning and why I didn't want to get signed in first thing when I got there. Now the issue was I had 10 sight tapes printed out from Precision Cut. I put them all in regards to my original marks, and then I made a slight adjustment and then printed those out as well. That way I had options because I wasn't going to be able to print when I was there. So I took the first hour, so probably about 3.5 hours, maybe even 4. Then I get in line to actually get logged in. So at that point, there's already been shooters kind of coming to the practice range, leaving out. It was about 19 of us, and we had about 2 hours of check-in time, and he was sending them out in groups of 3. My group was a group of 4, and dude, we had a freaking blast. And the actual guy that beat me was the guy that beat me in the tiebreaker was also the guy that beat me on the range, which sucks, frustrating, but he earned it. He shot really, really good today, and I can't even complain about it. But creates a set point in my mind and says, hey, if you really want to be that guy and you really want to win, then you better start beasting in these little local shoots. Because me shooting whatever I shot today was nothing to be proud of. I dropped 2 5s, and then I dropped way too many like 8s that I think I should not have dropped at all. And a lot of those issues, if I were to give like critical and leave this as a mental log for myself, were coming from me getting soft in my back wall and not staying long and keep on pulling when I know I need to. Or the other thing was just me mentally breaking down, which leads me to another checkpoint in this story, which were my 2 5s that I shot back to back. If I remember correctly, I don't have the card right beside me, but I believe it came right after an 8, and the 8 was on like 20 some odd yard target, or maybe 30, but it felt really close. 25, and it was a shot on my knees. Now, that's not a problem. That felt really comfortable. But for some reason, I didn't want to let down. And so all my misses came from like me trying to hold through the shot and trying to like force it. But if I've learned anything, especially when you have time, take the time, let down, hit a reset. I actually did that during the shoot off, and I shot an 11 right when I needed it, which then moved me up to 2nd place. And then the guy that was in 1st place ended up shooting like 8. So it was like a crazy scenario. I probably should have grabbed 3rd just due to how people were shooting, but obviously every arrow counts. And so I just always paint boogeymen all the way around me and think that everybody's gonna shoot perfect, but that's just not a reality. So praise God that he missed and I made when I needed to make, and I was just shooting par, 10, 10, 10. Then I shot an 11 to finish it out. And then the tiebreaker, I think I shot an 8 at 76 yards, I think is what I said. 76 or 77 is what I have on my sight tape right now, because I still haven't even touched it to move it back. Again, it was extremely fun. A lot of things learned, but at the end of the day, if I learned anything about myself, was first lesson was I was beating myself up when I dropped that 8. To go back to the main point of why I had this whole little bunny rabbit trail, I kept on chewing myself alive in my head and saying, like, I shouldn't have dropped that 8, you need to fix it. And then me being proactive in my thinking, I said, hey, worry about the next target. Right when I would think about the next target, I would get, oh, woe is me, oh, you're not good, you need to get better, you didn't practice, you didn't do all the things you were supposed to do, and drop the 5. And all of my misses, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, were all low when I was doing that. And then again, did it on the next target. Oh, you're not as good as you thought you were, you suck. All these thoughts are in my head. Oh, you're used to being second. And just all these negative thoughts that just started eating myself alive, where I literally was like, dude, see, I'm never gonna compete. This is not for me. And I remember once I had that thought, there's something else that clicked inside of me that was like, you know what? No, you are capable. You can do this. And it might not be easy and it might be hard, but like that's the benefit of it. That is where all of the positives come in this situation. And so just being able to take a step back and seeing the guys around me still shoot good, even when they might have, one guy missed a target and then he came in 4th, I think, overall in shoot off. At the end of the day, if I'm learning anything, it really just comes down to taking it one shot at a time. I've heard one guy talk about with Jamie Lutz, he talks about taking it 5 targets at a time. I couldn't categorize and program my mind to think that sharp and that cleanly in the midst of competition. But what I was proud of in this moment, if I could be proud of myself, was that I finally did hit a reset button. Then by the time that we got to the shoot off, I was pretty not happy with my score, but with it being 3rd overall with 19 guys, it made me happy. Was it great? Was it perfect? No, but it made me happy to realize on the days that I'm not shooting my best, I can still be pretty good. And so to not be so hard about me missing the quarter size point that I'm trying to hit, and be okay with, hey, but you shot a 10. And not saying I should be content. Like, I don't ever want to get to a content mindset, but it also has to be the mindset like we tell our DBs when they're playing on the island. Anybody that knows about a corner, they're all by themselves. If they blow one responsibility, then they blow another one. The next one probably is going to be a touchdown. And so I can't give away touchdowns or drop 5s when it comes down to real deal competition. And so just getting in the mental reps to be able to work through those types of scenarios in a one arrow is all you get type of situation, extremely beneficial. You can't pay for those type of situations. Now I did today, so I guess you should pay for them, so there's some money on the line. But at the end of the day, that was really beneficial for me and my own mental. But all things being said, if you get to shoot and you get to compete, what I am learning right now in regards to archery is like there's so many benefits to competition that you get to learn about yourself. When you get time to think about how you just shot that shot. And so At the end of the day, me learning how to control my own headspace, being able to stay calm, and even when I get frustrated, allowing those emotions to pass and not linger on it is, I think, gonna pay huge dividends in my own personal life, whether it's coming down to being a parent, or a husband, when things don't go the way that I think that they should be going, even more so paying huge dividends when it comes down to actual competition of archery. Because at the end of the day, if you can hit a quick reset button, everybody's gonna drop a few every once in a while. But it's who are you when the fire gets turned on? We always talk about character with our guys. Who are you when things aren't going right? Today, I learned that. I've always known it about myself, but even more, put a magnifying glass right on it, which was, oh, you like to self-deprecate. You get down on yourself pretty quickly. And you might have a smile on your face, and I'm sure other people can read your body language, and you're trying to lie to the situation. But at the end of the day, I have to be more honest with myself in those moments and work through them quicker than lingering and waiting 2 targets to go and fix my own headspace. So it's me being legit and trying to be as honest as possible without trying to make it sound like I'm making excuses, because there's definitely no excuses. I'm really happy with the results for it being my first time actually competing, dealing with the nerves, dealing with money being on the line. Oh, really dope. I did not expect to get what I got. I think it was like $200+ payout with 19 guys showing up to shoot. So that was really cool to me. That might sound like chump change to some of you guys, but to me, when I put $60 into a pot and that's what's a return, dude, first I was tripping on spending the 60, but then having that payoff, I don't know, it just made it that much more worth it, that much more sweet. So I don't know if people are supposed to talk about money or whatever, but to me, I think the money value sometimes can correlate to some of the anxiety. So me putting $60 into it definitely had a little bit more of my neck on the line. And so that was really cool, really fun experience. So that was a whole lot of things said. But hopefully some of it was beneficial. Hopefully some of it you could learn from, because at the end of the day, I'm still learning so much about archery, learning so much about myself, and the better I can become at archery, freaking better. I just want to be great at it. I really, really, really want to be great at this thing. And so just trying to take it one step at a time. And at the end of the day, remember to be better, because that's my goal, being better at one thing at a time, whether it be archery, fatherhood, but even more so my relationship with my wife, me as a husband, but then most importantly, me as a Christ follower of Jesus Christ, like just trying to figure out how to level those things up. So again, hopefully there's some value in some of this. And if not, sorry you wasted your time. Be better. William Alderman is out. Oh, hey, last thing, I almost forgot. There's one really, really cool thing about shooting local tournaments that I'm learning, and it's the community. So I've always talked about, I have a hunting community, some guys that actually got me into hunting, which is why I now have the V3X that I have now, and just how these things have collated. But when it comes down to archery, they shoot archery, but it's not the same exact love for just shooting a bow. But when you get surrounded by people that just love to shoot their bow, I'm really excited. I think there's a guy that I'm probably gonna end up shooting with. His name is Jordan, lives like probably 15 minutes away from me, and I think he works right beside where I work. So that's gonna be really, really cool. Hopefully I can get time to actually shoot with him. He's the guy that actually pulled 4th today. I would call him like silent assassin, because he's like this super level-headed guy that you just look at his scorecard and you're like, dude, that's freaking awesome. Like, not giving me any vibes of like ups and downs, and he's just like super level-headed. He talked about only shooting for like a year. I thought I was new to archery, of like shooting with the last, I guess, 4 years now, 4 to 5 years, 4, because it was DXT, then 3 years with this, 1 year with that. So total of 4 years. So I thought I was new, but the fact that he did what he did today was really, really awesome, really encouraging just to me to just keep on pushing, because I no longer can use the newbie card. So now it's at the point where I gotta just be great. And so again, if you want community, go find some place to compete with, and don't be afraid to just say hi and ask for a guy's number. It's not awkward. It's just like a guy's number where you can like hang out. Don't make it awkward. Don't go there. But again, that's it. Hopefully there's some value there. Be easy. Officially out.